everybody, I'm Nora Burrows. I have a little fabric haul today from two locations. One being a quilting shop a couple hours from my house. I happened to be in that area and so I swung by. I had never been before and I picked up some treasures there. And then the second place was my quilting guild. I had a quilting guild meeting in person last night. They hosted a little fabric exchange where you could bring fabric that you didn't really want anymore, and then other people brought fabric and you could kind of pick what you wanted. So I got a couple things from there, which I'm really excited about. So I'll show you that stuff. But first, I finished the Star Wars quilt. I'm gonna show you. I'll take some pictures of the quilt, some close-ups and some full view, and put them at the end of this video so that you can see it a little bit better. But here it is for now. And then I almost had enough fabric to do the backing all in this, blue spacey stripe, but I didn't have enough fabric, so I did kind of this pieced backing, which I always love a pieced backing anyway, so I had no problems about that. But here's the back. And for the quilting on that, I just did stitch in the ditch around, the seam lines, and I think on that quilt, I always do stitch in the ditch, but on that quilt in particular, I think that it worked well because I find that when you're stitching over novelty fabrics, sometimes the novelty pieces get lost, like the Star Wars wouldn't be quite as bright and visible with all these kind of stitch lines over them. So for that, the stitch in the ditch is great. But in general, I always do stitch in the ditch. Let's take a look at those fabrics from my two fabric hauls. We'll do the new fabric from the quilt shop first. So here's the first piece. I got a yard of this. I think it's really cool. So this one I'm really excited about. I think it's super cool. This one was on sale. It's a backing fabric, and it was, already it was one of those pre-cut ones on sale that the quilt shops sometimes have. So I think there was like a yard of this, but since it's the backing, it's wider than the regular quilting fabric. I love this. I've been looking for reds lately. This is more of kind of an orange. Reds are really hard for me to find ones that I like. So this is kind of red-ish, so I was excited about that. And then this one I got a yard of, and it's just this kind of like log woodsy fabric, kind of geometric, really cool. And all these fabrics are now washed. I wash my fabrics as soon as I get home. It's like the first thing I do. Brings me lots of joy. This is kind of a strange one. I got a yard of this. I don't know what I'm gonna use this for, but the color is great. And again, it's a red. I mean, it's more of a brown, but it does have that red tint to it. So I am trying to increase my red stash. But I think this could be really neat. Again, it's kind of geometric. These prints that I'm choosing are kind of geometric, all of them. And then this one, I got a yard of this. And it doesn't have the pure white in the background. It's a little bit cream, which is what I prefer. Finally, I got a stack of fat quarters. It was a fat quarter bundle. This fat quarter bundle, I have to say, makes me a little uncomfortable. It's like a little scary to me for some reason. I don't know why, but it is so cool. And I feel like in the right setting, it could be awesome. It's just this I don't know if I could use these for appliques. I don't know why this fabric freaks me out, but it kind of freaks me out in not really a positive way. As a whole, I really don't like this print, but I'm thinking, if you take just a bit of it, let's see, if we were just to randomly select a 2-inch square, like that, right? I don't know, that's even still kind of creepy to me. Let's try a different 2-inch square, maybe down here. I don't know. I think in the right setting, paired with the right fabrics, these could be really cool. And there's a fat quarter for red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and pink. This one is obviously the pink one. So I'll just show these to you. It's neat in a way, it just makes me uncomfortable. I don't know why. There's the first one. Here's the yellow. I think that's upside down. Here's the yellow. And Anne of Green Gables, I know this was originally a book, but the original movie back in, like, I don't know, the late 80s or early 90s is like my favorite. So I do love that little text there. There's lots of flowers and butterflies, and I don't know, like this part here on the green could be really neat. And you know, there's letters that you could use to spell things out. It could make a really cool baby quilt because, you know, of the rainbow sense. And then you could do like black and white somehow around it, like a black and white geometric around it somehow. But I'm not sure. This is going to live in my stash for a while, and I have a feeling at some point I'll be inspired. I'll be like, this is what needs to happen with this. And again, I like this piece here with the squirrels, the chipmunks. The red. This is very like soup can red to me. I like this dominoes up here. It's kind of cool. And the blue. This is a fun piece here. And the plates with the butterfly. And last one is the purple. It is really fun in a way. And you know, the right person would be able to do something really cool with this. I just hope I'm the right person. I don't know if I could do something really cool with this. I'm not sure my mind can go in that direction, but I'm gonna try. All right, so now let me show you the yardage that I got from the Guild. I also got a bunch of little scraps that I'll show you as well. But and these all kind of like, these colors go together, even though these all came from different people, which is really fun. So this I love, this butterfly print. I don't typically go for the white background. And then there's just, you know, the pieces. When you're getting fabric secondhand like this, you don't have a lot of control over, you know, the yardage or how the pieces are cut. So these are kind of all cut in smaller segments, which adds kind of a fun challenge, you know? It adds perimeters that you have to work around in using the fabric, but that's really pretty. Then we have this green heart, which I had talked about making a kind of 70s or 80s quilt with some of the fabrics that I had gotten on a fabric adventure. You can check out that video. I think it's the second fabric adventure. Yeah, the second fabric adventure. It's like it's called like another fabric adventure or something like that. Anyway, I think that this green heart one would go really well in that quilt. It's just a pretty floral. I just like the colors in this one. Again, I'm trying to, you know, incorporate a little bit more reds, so it has reds in there. I love this. This is very like Paris to me. So it has like this light pink background and then the black floral, and in the background it has kind of the geometric gray print there. Very soft. This is a panel. So it has this knit, you know, motif on it where she's knitting the heart, which is kind of cool. So there's two images of that. There's two images of each image. Here's a llama. And so there's another llama above it. And then a teapot with a bird. So that's the yardage that I got at the Quilt Guild. And then I got a bunch of little scraps. These ones in particular are very strange, and I don't really know, you know, and I will say I took these home. This used to be one big piece, but little pieces were like dangling all over it. So I cut it into just, you know, more usable pieces, but all the pieces are very small still. I can't imagine what, you know, I would use these for, but I was just drawn to them for some reason. And it comes in the burgundy, the navy, tan, and then this one is a little different, but I felt like it kind of went with the theme. Just very odd, but they're little pieces. So I felt like, you know, getting odd little pieces can be good. Then there's these three really bright pieces that all kind of go together. And then one more. This one's a little different. Very vibrant. And there's a good amount of this here, but again, it's kind of cut into random pieces, but it's this fruit fabric that I thought would make really good placemats. And I was almost wondering if I could get some accent fabric of like the basket weave. I've seen some prints of basket weave that would go really well with this. I think these are all from the same line, but again, you know, I was really attracted to the sunflowers, I think partly because of Ukraine, and I'm seeing a lot of sunflowers and sunflower quilts, charity quilts and things like that, that for money that's being raised for Ukraine. So I just wanted to take these little bits, even though there's just a tiny amount. I felt drawn to them, I think, for that reason. And then I think these were probably from the same line, and it's just like farmer fabric. And then it's the same in the white there. Here's more little pieces. This is a tiny piece, but one that I just thought was kind of fun. I love this piece here. This might be my favorite. I wish that there was more of this. If this was like in the quilt shop now, I would go buy yardage in that. I love it. And then this one is of the moon. I think that's gorgeous. This is another one I wish I had yardage in. But, you know, it forces you to be creative. When you have little bits, you got to figure out how to make it work. There's one of birds, a little bit. And this ski piece I really love. It's just so vintage looking. There's one of the skiers. Here's one flying through the air. I personally don't ski, but this image I think is so weird. I like don't understand that image at all. But the rest of them are cool. So there you have it, some new treasures. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.